Cognitive dissonance. Why we lie to ourselves without realizing it. Have you ever made a decision you regretted, but then found yourself justifying it even to yourself? Maybe you spent too much on something you didn't need, or stayed in a toxic relationship, or defended a belief you secretly doubted. If you've ever felt that inner tension, that uncomfortable mental twist when your actions and values clash, you've experienced cognitive dissonance. This isn't just a fancy psychological term. Cognitive dissonance explains how we cope with contradictions, why we lie to ourselves, and how we reshape reality in our minds to protect our sense of identity. It affects the choices you make, the habits you keep, and the way you see yourself. And once you understand how it works, you'll never look at your thoughts the same way again. What is cognitive dissonance? Cognitive dissonance is the mental discomfort we feel when we hold two conflicting beliefs, values, or attitudes, or when our behavior contradicts what we believe. The term was introduced by psychologist Leon Festinger in 1957, and it changed how we understand decision-making, motivation, and the human mind. In simple terms, cognitive dissonance equals psychological stress from internal conflict. And your brain doesn't like it at all. So what does it do? It finds ways to reduce the tension, often by changing your beliefs, distorting reality, or making excuses to feel okay again. Classic example, the $1 versus $20 experiment. Festinger's most famous study involved students doing a boring, repetitive task. Afterward, they were asked to lie to the next participant and say the task was fun. One group was paid $20 to lie. Another was paid just $1. Here's the twist. The $1 group reported enjoying the task more than the $20 group. What? Because they experienced cognitive dissonance. The $20 participants had a clear justification. I lied for the money. The $1 group, however, had insufficient external justification, so they subconsciously changed their attitude to align with their actions. Maybe it wasn't so bad after all. This showed that we adjust our beliefs to reduce internal conflict, even if it means lying to ourselves. Real-life examples of cognitive dissonance. Cognitive dissonance happens everywhere, often without us realizing it. Here are some common examples. 1. Smoking despite knowing the risks. A smoker knows cigarettes cause cancer, but quitting is hard. So instead of stopping, they might say, "My grandfather smoked and lived to 90. You've got to die of something." This reduces the dissonance between their behavior, smoking, and their belief, smoking is harmful. 2. Buying an expensive product you regret. You splurge on a phone you can't afford. Instead of admitting a poor choice, you might say, "It has amazing features. I deserve to treat myself." You shift your thinking to protect your identity as a smart decision maker. 3. Staying in a toxic relationship. You believe you deserve love and respect, but you stay with someone who treats you badly. To resolve the dissonance, you tell yourself, "They're just stressed. Everyone has flaws." Changing your belief is easier than changing your situation. 4. Justifying cheating or dishonesty. You believe in honesty, but you lie or cheat. To cope, you might say, "Everyone does it. I had no choice." The dissonance between your values and actions is resolved by rationalizing the behavior. 5. Political and religious conflicts. You identify strongly with a belief system, but facts or events challenge that system. Rather than change your core identity, you might dismiss evidence, blame others, shift focus to unrelated positive traits. This protects your self-image but distorts your perception of reality. How we reduce cognitive dissonance. Your brain has a few tricks to ease the tension of dissonance. Most are unconscious and happen almost instantly. Changing beliefs. You adjust your original belief to fit your behavior. I used to think cheating was wrong, but maybe it depends on the situation. Downplaying the importance. You tell yourself the contradiction isn't a big deal. It's just one time, it won't matter in the long run. Selective exposure. You avoid information that challenges your beliefs and seek content that supports them. I only watch news that aligns with my views. Self-justification. You rationalize your actions to protect your ego. I had to do it. Anyone in my position would. Why cognitive dissonance is uncomfortable, but useful. Feeling uncomfortable when your beliefs and actions clash is actually a sign of self-awareness. It means you have standards, values, and a sense of identity. But left unchecked, cognitive dissonance can cause chronic stress, emotional denial, poor decision-making, resistance to growth. On the flip side, it can also motivate positive change. A smoker might finally quit. A dishonest person might choose integrity. A closed-minded person might explore new ideas. When managed consciously, Dissonance pushes us to align actions with values and become more honest with ourselves. How to deal with cognitive dissonance in a healthy way. The goal isn't to eliminate dissonance. That's impossible. The key is to recognize it and respond thoughtfully. Here's how. Acknowledge the discomfort. Instead of ignoring the tension, pause and ask, why do I feel uneasy about this? Reflect on your core values. Are your actions aligned with who you want to be? If not, what needs to change? Avoid immediate rationalization. Give yourself space before justifying your behavior. Self-honesty requires time and clarity. Embrace growth over ego. It's okay to be wrong. It's okay to change your mind. True strength comes from adjusting beliefs based on new insights. Seek diverse perspectives. Expose yourself to different opinions. This may create more dissonance, but also more growth. Conclusion, your mind's way of protecting you. Cognitive dissonance is your brain's way of saying, something doesn't add up. It's uncomfortable, yes, but it's also one of the most powerful signals for growth and self-awareness. We all lie to ourselves at times. Not because we're bad, but because we're human. The more you understand this bias, the more you can stop yourself mid-rationalization and ask, am I being honest, or just trying to feel better? That one question could change how you think, how you live, and how you become the version of yourself you're truly meant to be.